YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to click on the video today. We are here in the off season. Unfortunately, we are not playing in the college football playoff anymore. We are here trying to get talent to make a push. We're continuing to find these four-star players pretty regularly. They want to come here. Tennessee does have Ware on campus this week, so we'll really see what that looks like for him. But we are pretty much in the lead for that one. Nebraska is making a push for Marshall. However, he was just on campus last week, so we should be okay on that one. And then these two, nobody else is going after, so they should join our class as well. As far as transfers, we are looking pretty solid in most of these. We have Sty on campus this week with Perkins. We have St. John on campus next week with a bunch of other guys. We just had Epperson on campus last week, so he really pulled away from Mississippi State and Ole Miss. The one that I'm worried about is Punga. We got his hard sell wrong, so that one's a little bit in the dumps, but we're gonna just stick with the people even if we are struggling and maybe we lose out on them at the end, because we do have some depth, and that's really what these guys are looking to do, is really build depth, especially on the O-line side of things. As you can see as I'm talking and going down things here, Gatto, we had soft sells on. This time we have all hard sells, and even with the soft sells, we almost had as much as Ohio State, so we might be able to get back into that race. Same thing here with Troop, as we drop to second to Syracuse. So as we go through here, again, even if we're in second place, we probably have a visit coming up. Outside of these last two, these are late ads. Trying to get a four-star contact seeker just to kind of fill in the fullback role kind of idea. And then this right edge, nobody's going after him, so I figured since we're at fourth, if we throw some points at him, we might be able to land him. So that is kind of the update here in the transfer portal recruiting phase. Hopefully we can get some of these finished here soon, and if we really need to back out of some, we got some lower 4 stars and higher 3 stars that we can go and offer as well to kind of round out the team. All right, update. We are in week 4 now, and as we go down this board, you're gonna see that we got a lot of these transfers, starting out with Sty and Perkins. You got Epperson, you got Camella, you got Lucian, you have Baldridge, you got Golden, Lee Windenberg, Ketazaro. We did lose out on strong safety Cunning, which is not ideal. We did get a quarterback, and this halfback wants playing time. He's now at an F, so we're gonna back him out, and Army went after him, so we are good there. So pretty solid start to the transfer portal portion of this. So we will continue to work at this and see what we can do in this final week. All right, National Signing Day. We ended up getting 29 players. Ohio State took 2 of our players here. We'll just go see what they had here. They had a star, strong safety, naturally, right? We just can't get them there. Star left edge. Star receiver to Syracuse, only impact to Nebraska, impact free safety to Florida, and then a star to Texas. So yeah, we lost on some big dev traits there, for sure. A lot of them were juniors though, so the 1-year rentals essentially. And I apologize for all the sniffling and all this stuff, but trying to plow through this sickness as I record these things. So we did get the 2nd overall player. He is an elite dev in this class. He's a right tackle, so he's going to be a really solid for us moving forward. 5-star, 14th rank halfback, elusive bruiser, only impact dev, which is not going to bode well. Normal for the 5-star right edge. the 16th player in the nation only has normal is crazy, and normal for the athlete agile Hillhouse as well. That is very disappointing. Star for Marlon Ware, the receiver, the gadget receiver with 91 speed. Normal for a corner. Oh, we got a lot of normal devs. Star for the strong safety. I love that. Elite for the 4-star power rusher. I like that. I like that a lot. He might have to move to D-tackle because we are super thin there. Star development for contact seeker halfback. He has 86 speed, so he is also going to be looking at maybe some fullback time. What else? Star, left tackle, transfer. Okay, we're getting into the transfers now. We get normal for this right guard, though. That's tough. Junior transfer is a star. Impact for the guard. Star, corner transfer. I love to see that. Star, right tackle. 2 stars, tight end, and then the receiver. Another star, left edge. Elite will linebacker. I love that as well. He is a junior, though, so it'll only be a 1-year rental, like I was mentioning before. But we have 5 5-stars, 4 5-stars, which means 25 5-stars, or 4 stars. Where does that land us? Number 2, right behind Georgia. Ohio State stole a couple of our guys down here as well, but the number 2 class in the nation is really boding well for us. Our recruiting is doing well. It's just not translating to big time wins yet, and that's very, very disappointing for sure. We did get 2 upgrades in dev trait. As you can see, Tim Donahue got one, and then Delgado got one. So elite for Donahue, star for Delgado. Both of them seniors, so it's kind of unfortunate that they got the upgrade, but that's kind of the way it works, I guess, right? So we are coming in here. This is the big thing right here, 63 to a 33. We used Nicholson a lot after the first 4 games last year. We just felt like he was a better fit for us. He had 91 speed opposed to 82. His release seemed quicker, and the team just felt like they played better, especially simmed better with Nicholson, especially once he settled in a little bit. So I'm going to assume that Nicholson continues to be our starter, even if Chrisman gets up into like the mid-90s. I just don't see how he rivals Nicholson at this point in time. So that's kind of where we're at with the quarterbacks. Halfbacks, Byard is still just a junior, so he only has impact dev, which is tough, but we are going to be able to use 30 on him. And then the receiver room is going to be interesting because we have a few guys that we're going to put in, especially down the board, right? We redshirted them. They have star, elite devs, so it's going to be interesting to see where they fit with Kongbo and Woodside from last year. Humes also played a little bit in the slot and stuff like that. So big year for tight ends. It's a bummer that Droogsma only gets 13 every year. He is our starting tight end. He's just better than everybody else at this point in time. So that's where we're looking there. 91 overall, Trent Perkins. He has 58. As you see, our line is going to be super deep. We just have so many good players that transfer in here. 51 for Tuttle as a junior. 46 down here for Vea Law. So there might be some shuffling around the offensive line. 32 here for Folkerts. 31 down there for the last center as well. And then right guards, look at how many 82s we have here. Just really great depth. Keogh and then Vincent have the majority of the points here. And Regis gets hurt a lot, to be quite honest. So we need the depth there. Demorit is going to have 33 as well here. It is an 87. 47 for Lucian, who we picked up in the portal. So these two are going to have a battle here out at right tackle. Left edge, Alfonso St. John, we picked him up. He's going to be a senior 1-year rental. He has 34 skill points. We moved Byler over to right edge because we have a lot of freshmen over there. But he only gets 17 points. So these two probably aren't going to progress very well. Manu is going to be Manu. He's not going to progress very well. He is a senior. He plays way higher than his overall. But we don't have very many good developing pieces at D tackle right now. Donahue up to elite 41. We talked about that a little bit already. Mikes, we don't have anywhere that we're going to progress very well, and we're getting slower at the Mike position. 82, 83, 83, 83. That's just not enough speed for me. Cologne obviously might be somebody that we look at. Lynon Cole's obviously going to stay as the starter here. He gets 33. Ponga gets 39. So we might be looking at one of them playing middle linebacker for us. Delgado here at 89. We got to work on his speed. He has 41 points. Camella, who came in, has 44 points, 31 for Ballridge. Bia, who was one of our better players last year, he has 34. And Lamar has 39, so there's a lot of points there. These two have a boatload of points as star development players. So Leo might be taken over by Nwanu, but we'll see there. And maybe one of them move over to strong safety as well. Who knows at this point in time. So those are the big ones. The kickers and the punters, they have a lot, but it's not going to be really useful at this point in time. So that's kind of the quick rundown. We went in depth a little bit more than normal just because these videos get a little short. I think last year's off-season was like 26 minutes, right? And it seems like you guys like the longer videos a little bit more. But we'll hop in. Crispin. Whoa. Whew. I thought I messed up. Crispin, what we ought to do is, I truthfully, I don't even know. Quickness, I don't know if him being faster is going to really help. So we're going to go ahead and work on his accuracy. His throw power is only 86. But we're going to go ahead and work on his IQ as well. Look at some physical, mobile deadeye. We'll go there. And we don't have anything worth 3, so we'll put pull down on as well. So he's up to a 92, but again, just something that I just don't think we're going to be able to play over Nicholson, even though he might be the higher rated player at this point in time. We're really going to grind Nicholson's accuracy. I think that's where we need just a little bit more from him. 93 throw power already is pretty solid. Work on IQ, his awareness. This is only going to help in sim for sure. So we're going to continue to work on that until it hits 5. Health is kind of a big deal, to be honest, but I want to work on physical as well. We're going to go dot and then mobile resistance for bronze. So he's up to an 88. He's going to probably play above an 88, to be quite honest with you. Awareness jumps to an 80. Short accuracy is 97. 93 for medium accuracy and deep accuracy. Throw on the run and throw under pressure. Look at Crispin's throw under pressure. That's kind of impressive. The other thing to remember is Nicholson's only a sophomore. So that's where we're at for that one. We'll go and do a couple more of these bigger ones. Byard obviously is very important to the offense. He doesn't have very many skill caps, but because he doesn't get very many points, it's a little bit tougher to kind of upgrade him as much as we would like to upgrade him. So we're just going to work on this IQ. And he's going to finish at an 87. He is only a junior, so with him being an 87, he probably doesn't leave for the draft, which is also a plus for us here. The receiver room is going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Kongbo can do here. His route running is already so good. His catching is also pretty solid already. His IQ is really low. So we're going to work on that a little bit. And then we'll look into I like cutter on him as well, and we're going to be able to go twice, so get him to silver cutter as well. So Kongbo up to an 89. He's probably going to get surpassed by Woodside, to be honest, which isn't all bad because Woodside's going to be in the slot more so than anything else. His catching is kind of low, so we'll really work on that here. IQ, yeah, this kid is unbelievable. He has mental abilities. We're going to go ahead and do we want to upgrade that? We'll go IQ one more time, elusiveness one more time. So he's up to a 91 overall. So that's really good to see. 71 for Kenoy is crazy. We redshirted him with 91 speed. We got to work on his catching. He does have a pretty high skill cap for catching, which is not ideal. But we're going to be able to get him pretty much maxed out. Well, not pretty much. He is going to be maxed out there. Then we're going to get his route running boosted a bunch as well. Just got to be careful with his points here. And then we're going to work IQ. See what physical things we can do here. Want cutter or we're gonna go 50-50. So he's up to a 90. A freshman red shirt with 71 skill points jumps all the way up to a 90. That's crazy work. Whoa. Almost bought into something I didn't want to. Flipovich also has a pretty high skill cap for catching, so like 89 catching isn't that crazy good, but just because he has so many points, he's going to jump up so much as well. So he's in an 88 already. He already has bronze cutter. We're going to make that silver. I want sure hands to be up to a silver as well. So our receiver room is looking really, really good right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat that at all. Dom Burgess also has a bunch, 51 skill points. And he has less skill caps than the other two, so he's probably going to become one of the better receivers in the nation as well, which means we're going to have 3 of the top 5 receivers in the nation as long as we can keep them all. And he didn't jump nearly as much as I thought, but again, he's a freshman, so we'll be all right there. We still got a couple that have a lot, but we're going to continue to move on. Nothing big in the tight end room. 58 here for an already 91 overall Perkins, and look at his pass blocking. I mean, it's only going to get better, right? It does get awfully expensive up here, but we have 8 left. Do we have any physicals we can do? No. So we're stuck with 4, but he's up to a 96. So the senior is going to be an absolute monster on the line. Tuttle has a bunch as well as Vay. So his pass blocking is going to be capped. We're going to get his run blocking as high as we can. And then we're going to work on IQ. Then we'll look at physical, do pocket shield, and then wear down. 94, Javarius Tuttle as well at left guard. He is a junior, so if he doesn't leave for the draft, we'll have him for one more year, which I would guess he will leave, just because of his overall. Get into Veala as well. See, he has a lot of skill caps, though. So we'll see how this works for him. I mean, he's already up to an 87 overall. Go look at physicals. Go pocket shield. One more. So 87 with a couple physical abilities is really solid. Nothing crazy there at center. Nothing at right guard. Lucian is probably the most interesting one. But we've spent a lot of time on this already, so we're going to... Donahue is obviously going to stay there. I'm really looking for any, like, battles. There's not really going to be any. These two are insane, though. Maybe we do these ones. 5-star box specialist, 51. Run support up a little bit. That was kind of a bad move, but it's the IQ up as well. At 11, he gets blow up. Perfect. We have 5 more. Anything 4, 5, 5, and okay, 3, and then we'll work on hands again. So he's up to an 87 off of that, so he even jumps Leo, who's not going to really have a whole lot, to be quite honest with you. And then this guy's a 69 overall right now. He's a 3-star, but he has 58, and he has so much room to grow. He has very little skill caps. This guy might come out of nowhere and be very good for us. And this was a guy, I think, last... Was it last Portal? Maybe it wasn't even Portal, but last year we brought him in as a 3-star, and we're kind of frustrated with ourselves for doing it as a 3-star because we don't want 3-stars in our program, right? Because we just feel like we're too good for them right now. But he is going to be a problem, it looks like. He's an 80 overall as a redshirt freshman. So, and if he keeps getting that many skill points every year, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these, and I will see you for the conference changes. Here is an inside look of the madness of changing the conferences. So green means they get promoted from their conference. Red means they're getting demoted to the conference to the left. On the bottom part of the screen, here are the tiebreakers and the things that I go through just to try to figure stuff out, right? So, like, this one, BYU lost to UCF, but beat Wisconsin. BYU lost to UCF, UCF beat BYU, and Wisconsin lost to BYU. So each of them were 1-1. So we had to figure out which of these went down, and it was because of the fact that they won by more, right? So the point margin of the wins and losses was kind of the tiebreaker. So that's kind of how all that stuff works. So in the end, this is the final look at the conferences for this year. Still have the color just to show you which ones got promoted and demoted. Sad day where we, as Ball State, moved to the Pac-12, but Minnesota drops to the Americans, so we just surpassed Minnesota. And yeah, so Penn State falls out of the Big Ten again. Let's see, is there any other, like, big shocking ones? That American, I mean, you got Minnesota, Northwestern, and Purdue, and Washington State, all Power Fives out of the top 5 conferences. There's obviously other instances, like Virginia is down there as well, but there's some crazy ones. The MAC gets Georgia Southern, Georgia State in there. So you have some of these rivalries becoming a thing. In the Big Ten, you have Alabama, you have Georgia, you have LSU. So there's a lot of protected battles there in that conference as well. As we transition to look at our conference, the Pac-12, again, we talk about this almost every offseason at the beginning of the season. Is there going to be regression? Is there going to be a time where we don't just walk through a conference? Unfortunately, I don't know if this is going to be the year either. This is one of the years where last year we kind of had a lull in talent. We had a freshman quarterback, and we were really buffering a 96 overall. Now we have a 95 overall, but this one is definitely way closer to that number than last year's team was. And looking through the teams here, the only one that has like a pretty high rating is Georgia Tech. Everybody else is not very good. North Texas has worked their way up with us for the last 2 seasons. Can they continue to, go up the ladder with all these Power 5 schools, the Iowa States, the Boise States, Kansas, Wake Forest is here, Georgia Tech, BC. So there's a lot of like higher rated schools, right? But as you can see, Iowa State's down to a 2.5 star. Kansas is 1.5 star. So it's really one of those where on paper, right, it doesn't look like it'll be more challenging, but will it be? Probably, right? We might not go undefeated in the conference. We might struggle a little bit to blow people out like we did last year, which is good, right? We're trying to build a program to battle these teams in the Big Ten. 99 overall, Alabama. 94, 93, 91, 97, 91, 99, Georgia. 88 for Florida State. Michigan's in the 90s. 99 Notre Dame, 97 Ohio State, 92 Oregon, 94 UCLA, 94 Texas. So, right, looking at it this year, right, Washington's probably an odd team out with Tennessee and Florida State, who Florida State and Washington both got into the Big Ten this year. So it's a step up in competition. We have 4 more conferences to work through, 3 before we get to the SEC. And the SEC, like right now, historically doesn't look tough, right? Arizona State has recent success with Scatterboo last year. Colorado, right? There's 77 in the SEC. Duke, they definitely sim well, but they're not like great, right? Illinois is a 91, which is good. Michigan State's kind of on the rise at an 80. Louisville's an 82. 80 for Kansas State. Iowa's up to a 93, but they keep going back and forth from the Big Ten to the SEC. Nebraska's a 92. Oklahoma's an 86. USC's an 86. 85 for Penn State. So these are a little bit tougher of teams, right? But they're not like the big bad teams, right? The ACC is another one, the Big 12, right? As we continue to move up those conferences. So that is the changing of the conference. We went ahead and we looked at our conference in the Pac-12, and we'll see what we can get here as we move forward. Here is the schedule, and as you see on the screen, I thought it was a pretty close 95 overall team. No, they say we're 99s. That's crazy, first of all. That is absolutely crazy. We're going to look at the schedule here, and then that is going to be the episode. We are going to start by going to Lane Stadium. They're ranked. They're not like super highly rated, right? But it's a tough place to play on the road. It's going to get us battle tested. That's really what we're trying to do here with these non-conference games. Then we hop in and we host North Texas, who again is the team that keeps climbing up the ranks the last 2 years with us. So we have them at home. Then we travel to San Antonio to take on UTSA, and UTSA was one of the losses or one of the really tight games that we had last year. So we're going back to the Alamo Dome to kind of redeem ourselves here, but that's a conference game now in the Pac. And then we are going to travel to Camp Randall. Again, a tough place to play, not a super highly rated team, but a tough place to play. And then we turn around and we host Texas A&M. They struggled last year in the Big Ten. They are in the SEC. Wisconsin is in the Big 12, and the Virginia Tech's in the ACC, I believe. So these are the next three conferences. Remember, in our non-conference games, we try to play the teams in the next three conferences just to gauge where we are at. And then as we get into the very, very deep part of our conference schedule, we have Mississippi State away at Mississippi State, away at BC. Then we're home for 3 straight, week 9, 10, and 11, which is great for recruiting. But we got Boise State, San Jose State, and Georgia Tech. Remember, Georgia Tech is the tougher one in this conference. They did go 4-8 last year, 3-6, but they are the highest rated in the conference. So nice to have them at home. And then we travel to Kansas with a bye week 13, and then finish the year at home against Wake. So, yes, early in the year, we're traveling to tough environments, but late in the year, we get to help recruiting by having all these home games, which I feel is very good and smart to do. Quickly, before we hop out of here, we did this a little bit, but we have Chrism that is going to be a 92 overall. He's a senior redshirt. Realistically, we didn't cut him to go play, selfishly, so he gets drafted. And realistically, if Nicholson goes down with an injury, we do have a very viable backup to take his place. Bayard's an 87. Paris is an elusive bruiser right behind him. He has 90 speed as an elusive bruiser, so he's going to be a very good person to hand the ball off to. And when James Bayard is done, and Bayard also has some injury stuff, so and wear and tear stuff, so having Paris here is very, very important. We moved Roper from running back to fullback, so he's just going to kind of chill there in goal line situations and stuff if we happen to need him. Woodside is up to a 91 overall. He'll be in the slot with 91 speed. Kenoy is very, very similar as a freshman redshirt to Woodside, but he's going to be on the outside with Cantazaro and Kongbo. So these guys are very, very solid at the top. We even have Filipovic, who has 88 speed, 88 overall as well. Humes kind of slid down with the progression of everybody else in front, but we have a very viable receiver crew this year, opposed to last year where we struggled a little bit. Tight end room looks really, really solid. This guy's a tackle that we transitioned to tight end because last year we only had 2 of them. Yeah, he's unreal, but he's a blocker. His speed is a 62. He can't really catch very well. 72 catch isn't terrible, but he just can't get open. So we'll see a lot of Drugsma and Leeuwenberg for sure. Iwoma will be a pretty big blocker for us. Left tackle, Perkins at a 96. As a senior, Jones is probably going to have to wait his turn at an 89 as a junior. But Kieran is on his tail. He had a really good summer. Left guard, 94 for Tuttle. Junior Law behind him as well. And then we have a freshman Cornell that's in the 80s already as well. Senior Folkerts, then we have a sophomore right behind him that's an 80 as well. So we have some depth, especially in this portion of our line. Are these guys completely capped out? Why didn't this auto? Interesting. I'll have to go ahead and do that. It didn't auto. Did it not do it for everybody? I'm confused. Must have been just them. Everybody else doesn't have any. That's odd. That's not going to change our depth chart. The one that's going to be awkward is this one. 2 junior red shirts. One's a star. One's an impact. 90 overall, both of them. They're really solid. We're probably going to move Lucian or Demorit, whichever one is better, into the center position maybe. But that's something to look out for. St. John transfer senior came in here, had a boatload of points, was up to a 95 overall. Just absolutely unbelievable. Byler's only an 81, so we might move Quails over there, but we don't really have a lot of depth there. Our D tackles are really weak as well. Manu always plays better, right? He plays way better than his rating, but it's pretty weak there.
Donahue is a Sam linebacker, 92 overall. Yeah, he's unreal. Gaston got up to a 92. Berrien's at an 84. So we got some guys down here as well, young guys, 86 speed, 83 speed. So we have depth there at Mike linebacker. Speaking of which, we are probably going to move Leinenkuhl over to Mike, just with that 86 speed. We might go Cologne over there with 88 speed, but we need to get Punga and Leinenkuhl on the field with Donahue at a 92. It's going to be tough to have all 4 or 5 of them on the field at once. Comella is a 95. This is a transfer guy. He had a boatload of points as well. He's up to playing to a 95. Then we have Delgado at a 91. Belridge at a 91. Bia, who was probably our best corner last year, at an 80. Lamar played really well last year, as an 87. We got Golden at an 87. Ibrahim at an 84. So we have really good depth here, young depth in Bia and Lamar. Lamar might have to take a back seat this year because of the transfer guys that we brought in this year. Then the safeties get kind of crazy because Okwonwu is probably going to play free safety, freshman redshirt, star development, great, right? Leo might slide over to strong safety. He has the speed to play there. He's like 3 or 4 overalls better than these guys, so it makes sense for him to slide over and play. It's going to be Helm's spot after next year. The only issue with Helm is he only has normal development, right? So that's really where it gets kind of tricky there. Then we have an 84 kicker, 81 punter, and that is our roster. So that's the offseason. We're ready for the preseason. We're preseason ranked number 13 with a 99 overall team in a conference that we should probably walk through, to be 100% honest with you, but you never know. We are in the Pac-12. We are 4 conferences away, not counting the Pac-12, to get to the pinnacle of college football and see if we can consistently compete in that Big Ten. And see what we get from there. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video. Again, I apologize for my my voice. I apologize for some of the sniffling. That's probably not going to be able to get cut out and stuff. But I appreciate you watching anyway. And as always, I hope you have a good day. I hope you had a great day. Spread the word. Peace.